Welcome back to Dan's Messy Garage. This is going to be day 9 working on the 71 Comet GT clone. New day, trying to have a new attitude, better attitude. What I need to do first is take off that power steering line, get that yellow brass nut off there and make it thinner, so that the power steering line can thread on to the pump further. Got the nut off and I was going to grind it down. And I remembered this other pump. See if they had a nut on there, which is the same size thread, same style pump. But notice something. There is no big bracket coming around the back side. It's only held down at the front side. I really don't think that rear bracket deal is needed. The pump is solidly mounted to the thick bracket on the front. And I'm going to make an executive decision and not put this nut on. I'm going to leave things the way they are, put the line on, tighten it up, and move on with this project. It's time to start actually putting things together. Get this out of the way. Oh, Scott, look what I found. I was using my red tie strap all along in here and didn't realize it. So you probably don't have any of my tie downs. Fan belts, I guess I can put them on. Then I can tighten power steering pump up and adjust the belt. Figure out where this air conditioning line is going to have to be in relationship to the power steering, dipstick tube. I think I can just push this down like that and everything will clear. Yeah. Whoops. Sorry, guys. Just kicked the tripod. It's really difficult working around tripods. You know, because the legs stick out so far, you gotta give them a wide berth when you walk around them. And yeah. Okay. Stop complaining. Get to work. I think that's like that. Got to adjust the belt. Before I adjust the belt, I got another bracket I have to tighten up here. I gotta hit the brakes. I'm gonna find my belt tensioning bolt. I've only had it in and out of there, 20 times last week. Bolt. Here, I'll use this one right here. It's the one I was looking for. It was underneath my sign. My fancy Dan's Messy Garage sign. Does have my email and P.O. box on here if you guys care to send me something. Let's see. I'm going to need 5/8 socket and 9/16 socket. I think I'm just going to get my air ratchet and get this stuff done quicker. Those feel tight. Now, how am I going to... I got a concrete block down here that I need to stand on to get to the power steering line on the car. I just moved it because I kept bumping into it here. All right, I need to pull up on this pump to tighten that belt. There's no real way I can hold tension on it and tighten it. Maybe I can take my big long what you call it, breaker bar. I found it. It was right where it belonged. I put it back without realizing I put it back. Must have thought I was done using it. All right, so I can wedge this in between the bolts on the front of the pump. Oh yeah. If I hold that there, tighten that up. Need to tighten the bolt that's in the adjusting bracket. And I need to tighten the pivot bolt. This belt's got to be fairly tight because it runs the water pump and fan. And the fan can put a load on there and cause the belt to squeal. All right, let me feel that. I got her tightened. Now, the air conditioning line, if I can keep it up here, like that, it'll be clear of this dipstick tube for the power steering. And I think I have enough clearance to get the, especially here, the air conditioning coupler dealie on there. In fact, I'm going to try that. Got some new green O-rings. Put a new green O-ring on here. Put that there. Okay, that's going to go on there. I got to see if I have room to get those couplers on. I'm not charging this up right now, folks. I'm just seeing if the couplers fit, because I need to vacuum out the system before you charge it. Okay, I got room to get this one on. How about the blue? Yeah, right there. Okay, that's doable. So it looks like this line is going to be on top of that big bracket brace. So let's see, this guy's got to go in here. This is just a test fit. None of the lines are tight yet. You can hear somebody already coming apart watching this. Yeah, well, first things first. I got to get that power steering line tightened on the power steering unit in the car. I temporarily put on the air conditioner line, runs through here. I got the power steering return hose here, but I can't put this on the pump yet because we need to flush out all the old fluid from the system. I want to do that with the engine running and just keep pouring power steering fluid in the pump to circulate it, and I'll put a bottle or jug on here to collect it. And then when the fluid comes out clear, well, then I can put it on the pump. And that's not going to be fun or easy. Alright, so this thick line is going to have to come up here somewhere. Can't start it, can't run it without valve covering and those 4 spark plug wires. I did get the line tightened down on the car power steering unit. The line's tight on the back of the power steering pump. Yeah, I'm going to do spark plug wires, valve cover, then windshield washer bottle. I don't know. I know one thing though. It's afternoon already. God, hours are flying by. And I'm hungry. Grumpy. Yeah, I know I'm grumpy. I get grumpy when I'm hungry. And I'm usually hungry, so I'm usually grumpy. So I'm going to go take care of that little problem. I got something to eat. Got myself a cup of coffee. And I've been thinking about the wires and valve cover. Which one do I put on first? I'm going to see if I can get the valve cover on first and then the wires. I don't know. You think something like that would be a no-brainer, simple, but you got to understand what it's like to try to reach your hands in here to get to those wires in boots. And I think I just talked myself into wires first. As long as there's long enough to go around the end of the valve cover. Yeah, I just got to try it, you know. Normally, it's like I said, it's not an issue on this car. Everything's an issue because there's no room. What I did is I think I got the wires on the plugs. There's like no hand access to get the first two plugs here. And then that last one, you can't stick your hand in through here. You can't really reach it from there. The only way to get to that last plug is from the front of the car back. And I'm not that tall because the front of this car sticks out a lot. And it's even worse with the bumper on there. But I have to like really climb up on here, and I can barely reach down in there to get to that last plug. I think it's on. Just gonna have to start it and see if it's running on all 8 cylinders or not. I got the valve cover gasket in there. Now something I am not looking forward to, never do on this, is putting those valve cover bolts in there with washers. They're stainless, so you know you really can't use a magnetic thing to get them in there. It'd be so much easier if this had studs for valve covers. All my cars, I always try to keep studs on because it makes it easier. Not see, this gasket's going to be sliding around. Bolts aren't going to line up, and I'm complaining again, so I'm just going to shut up and do it. I have a lot of it into position. You know, I know there's people that, that's not that bad. I'd like those people come over here, like, just change the spark plugs in this side. Like right now, you can't even see them. You can't see the wires. Wires are going in between all the hoses down here. I need to tighten up these nuts on the shock tower cap. Tighten up this brace. And see if this windshield washer reservoir is going to be in the way of air conditioning. I think it's doable. Has to be, right? So I'm getting close to starting it. Before I start it, I'm going to put fluid in the pump. And I got to get a bottle. Where'd the return line go? Here it is. Put this return line into. I have the front end jacked up. Poured power steering fluid into the pump. Return lines here. I had to put another hose on the return line on the pump so the fluid didn't just run out. get in and turn the steering wheel back and forth and just see if doing that has fluid come out of this return line. Got me a nice spotlessly clean jug. Incidentally, everything in my garage looks like that from painting cars in here. Alright, so I'm going to turn the wheel. Did anything come out? I couldn't see. Doesn't look like it. Alright. Well, let's see if it starts. Should. Give her a few squirts. Belts are on. You put the trans dipstick back in. I had to pull the trans dipstick out just to put the air conditioning line on back here. Alright. Put it in park. Contact. Idle's kind of high. Did anything come out of the return? Not yet. See if I can kick that down. I'm not seeing any leaks underneath. I'm just going to have to start it up and get another quart ready here. I'm wondering why it didn't pump late yet. Oh, shit. Damn it. Oh, it's running out of the other return line I put on. Oh well. Just going to have to run out. I got to turn the steering wheel and get it to pump through there. I've been turning the steering wheel and I'm not seeing anything come out of there yet. what does this mean? This means we have a power steering pump that doesn't pump. Well, its pump is over full. And nothing's come out of the return line yet. Was the pump rotating? You guys watch the pulley. Seems like it has to though. It's going to be right down here. Can you even see my finger? I don't know. Yeah, it's turning. It's turning, but nothing's coming out of the return. I'm going to have to contemplate this. Power steering pump hasn't pumped yet. I've been revving the engine, turning the wheel left to right, and it's just not pumping anything out of the return line. We got another issue. Down there, that white thing in the middle of the screen, that's the oil filter. If you remember, I just put that on. See how that oil splattered on there? I start it up and give it some revs, and I can see oil spraying onto the filter from somewhere. So it's got an oil leak, plus power steering's not working. The pump's not pumping. I don't know what to do. I think I'm going to have to maybe walk away, take a nap or something. I wish I'd have had the camera on, but I didn't have it on. If you look, you can see fluid in this jug now. I think it just had an airlock. I took the return line, blew some air into it, and I heard it bubble out of the pump. When I started it, it started spraying fluid out the return line. So the pump is pumping. I'll start it up here. It's pumping, and the fluid is starting to come out clearer. To be on the safe side, I only got a half a quart of this left. I'm going to put it in there and let it pump it out. That'll flush the system, and then I can just buy another quart of fluid to put it in. So I'm going to start it, fill it up again first, and then I'll turn the wheel as it's running. All right. I'm pretty convinced that that pump light did it all. I'm sure you saw the line pop out. Now there's power steering fluid everywhere here. Got on my fender pad. That's all right. It's pumping. I was getting really worried there. I had some nightmare visions of taking the pump off and putting another one on. But it appears to be pumping. And I still might go take that nap. Okay, I did go take that nap. And I've been in the garage trying to figure out where that oil leak is coming from. And I figured it out. It's gonna be a pain in the butt. It's the fuel pump. The fuel pump where it is like clamped together, the two halves, spraying oil out of there. Now we've had that exact problem before, and I replaced the fuel pump, and now this one's leaking. And I was able to prove it by sticking a piece of cardboard up between the oil filter and the fuel pump, starting it, give the engine a rev, cardboard got oil on it. Can only be coming out of the fuel pump. So I'm going to call this the end of day 9 working on the Comet GT clone. Thank you for watching Dan's Messy Garage. Come back for day 10 when I figure out what I'm going to do about fuel pump. I'm hoping I don't have to take the power steering pump off to get to the fuel pump. Wouldn't that be fun? Bye.